Welcome to Teachers TV Africa and the Literacy Solution Podcast. I'm Teacher Peter Okwari, and today we're going to be having a very short discussion about quality education. And today, so many people describe and can give various definitions about what quality education is. But with me, I'm having a pool of resourceful people from various countries and various continents who are going to tell us how they define and how they understand quality education. And let me start with my sister.
My name is Gloria Anderson from Tanzania, a founder and director of Tanzania Enlightenment Development Innovations, working in improving the quality of education. Quality education to me is a relevant education, an education with content that are relevant to the 21st century.
Hi everybody, my name is David Gordon. I work at Staten Island Academy. I'm the director of the Patrick Academic Resource Center in New York City. So at the school where I work, my job is to fully integrate students with learning differences such as dyslexia into the classrooms with typically developing peers, with the end goal of going on to be prepared for college and university. In relation to this conversation around education, in my school we refer to something what we call co-curricular. So there's the academic curriculum, which is the maths and the literacy and things along those lines, but we really also emphasize the co-curricular. So what are the students doing? Are they active and participating in team sports? Are they active and participating in the arts, whether that's visual arts or performance arts? Are they So, but it's not every day you get caught off by an F-16, so at least for me. So at my school, we really also emphasize co-curricular. So what's happening outside of the classroom in addition to the maths and the literacy. So we want our students participating in team sports, both for the physical activity, but for the opportunity to learn how to do decision making with their peers in a fast-paced arena. We want them participating in the arts, whether that's visual arts or performance arts, and we want them doing service for the community, both in relation to our own community, our community in Staten Island, New York, and then our global community. And so those are the pieces that I think really help our students become not just well-rounded, but learn skills of listening, learn skills of collaboration, learn skills of leadership and taking initiative, learning how to fail, and then get back up and try again and learn from your mistakes. So for us, that's very important as a part of our curriculum, both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. So that is something we really emphasize so that when students leave, they have that opportunity to become good leaders and kind of forge their path forward as an employee and or an employer.
Wonderful. For information, don't forget you are live and direct from South Africa.
From Nigeria.
Yes, Melva?
So my name is Melva Ukechinyere from Nigeria, and I'm a lawyer and an advocate for inclusive education, particularly with focus in rural communities. So to in my perspective about education is that it's wholesome. Education should lead to learning. And an educated person should not just be able to read and write, but should be able to live a wholesome life, acquire soft skills and hard skills as well. So in my organization, we run a program that we call Entrepreneurial Education Skill Up Projects. So where all children in school are able to assess learning, whether or not they have a disability. And they should also be able to acquire skills as a result of their education. And they should also be able to acquire leadership skills and other soft skills that would make it possible for them to live wholesome lives outside of the academic world as well. So when a person is educated and they are done with education with respect to maybe they've graduated from university, they should be able to be employable and they should be able to work with a team, not just being book smart, but they should be street smarts and intelligent all across the boards.
Thank you, Melva. And yes, Tom.
Hello, my name is Tom Defiant. I'm a certified teacher currently I'm an employment specialist with a disability advocacy organization. in my organization, the organization I work in, we offer alternate pathways for individuals which can't complete the normal curriculum in school. Although we try to include the students as much as possible, mainstreaming in the classroom, they're afforded options for developing their skills so that after they graduate from school, they can go into employment, pursue tertiary education, or even a meaningful activity within their community with support. Thank you.
And from which country?
From the United States and from New York.
Now, you said, is it an alternative solution to education that you're providing?
Question whether it's an alternative solution to education is part of the toolbox of education. It's another pathway that's offered. Mainstreaming is always our goal, but nobody is left behind.
Sure.
Everybody's offered a free and appropriate education.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Meaning the mission is nobody's left behind.
Exactly.
That's right.
Thank you.
Everybody's included.
Thank you.
Well, my name is Alfred Sigo. I'm the CEO and the founder of a youth network called Quality Network. We work across the Kenyan Coast region and specifically work in the education and the health pathway. When it comes to education, what do I understand and what do I believe in? As an institution, we believe in meaningful education. And for us, meaningful education means curriculum-based education whereby young people are not just doing the classwork, but they are there to come up with solutions that can work and practically work across the communities that they come from. Specifically, our work is to integrate education with other skills like sports, art, the creatives, so that young people can be able to tap into and use their talent and the specific skills they have. That's all from me.
Thank you. Yes, Ian.
All right, my name is Ian Tarimo, and I work for an organization called Thai Tanzania. Basically, I'm from Tanzania. And for me, I will really follow the philosopher Aristotle, who said, educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Which means it's important, and it's very important. As much as we teach people the technical skills, we also need to teach the soft skills. So I would say that a quality education is an education that helps a person to understand themselves, who they are, and what's their contribution to the society they are living in. And without doing that, it means you have not acquired the right education.
Thank you very much, Ian, from Tanzania. Hi. Then let me have a brief question. Another brief question. Gloria,
Yes.
kindly, according to you, how do you define quality education? Because I didn't get your definition, and how do you understand?
All right. Thank you so much for that question because it's something that I also wanted to ask in the other session. Quality education to me, again, it's an education that has the relevant content to what is needed in the 21st century. I've heard other members speaking of the soft skills, the employability skills. That's what we need in the 21st century. Because right now, the education systems that we have in most of the African countries, Tanzania being among them, is that it does not really prepare the young people to be competitive in the global market and also in the global market business-wise, but also in job-wise. Young people cannot employ themselves. They cannot start their own businesses. They cannot even become employed. For instance, in Tanzania alone, according to UNDP data, it says that every year 800,000 to 1 million graduates leave universities, but only a very few get employed or employ themselves. So where are we taking this batch of graduates? They're just, roaming around the streets. So in my organization, what we do, we integrate practical programs into the education system. The programs that are not being provided or they are not implemented in the education system, the likes of digital literacy through establishing computer labs and providing e-learning and e-teaching capacity building for teachers. And this came after the impact of COVID. And also we establish ICT clubs for students where students get to learn various digital skills, the likes of graphics designing, website designing, the understanding of how they can grab the similar learning content they can get from classroom, but now they are getting from from the computers. Yes, exactly, from the computer labs. So with this project, it has really helped young people to even change the mindset that resources in the education system can not only be gotten from a teacher on the board, but it can also be gotten from the tech devices like computers. But also the other program that we have really invested in is the entrepreneurship and employability skills. So what we do with students in primary and secondary schools, we establish student clubs. So we form various groups among students, and then we teach them how they can use business canvas model to come up with different ideas and turn them into businesses. So we have had groups of students from the age of 11, 11 to 14, who have come up with projects, let's say agriculture in school. They are farming vegetables, and then they sell them. Others cook food and sell them. The main concept and the main vision being that we want them to have that in mind. Like, it's not only about having an A in geography or an A in history, but it's about what can I do when I go out. Yes. So that is what I mean when I say quality education. To me, means having the relevant content in the education curriculums.
Thank you very
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank you very much, Gloria. And also thank you very much, our viewers, for watching us live from South Africa. And this is a program that that has brought us together, the Mandela Washington Fellowship, and we are attending a symposium in Johannesburg, South Africa. I would like to have one final question, and I wish each person will have 1 minute for you. It's a new theme or situation that so many have not understood. Today we have so many institutes of learning, formal and informal, and they're doing all what it takes to see that they provide a lasting solution to our societal challenges. And the main societal challenge that majorly is ravaging the young generation is unemployment. Now we have two categories, two types of education that our teachers in need we have come up with, and at place we have made our research, baseline research. Now we have what we call solution-based education, and we also have qualification-based education, but there's also what we call performance-based education. Now, where are most institutions putting their guns? Where are they pointing their guns? Is it solution-based education? Is it performance-based education? Or qualification-based education? And even the learners themselves, where do they focus on? Is it to just complete and get a PhD, get a degree, or come up with a solution? Just in 1 minute. What's your opinion? Let me start with my brother from Kenya.
Well, thank you so much. So in 2020, Kenya adopted something called CBC, and this is where, as a country, we are looking at solution-based education, and specifically, we are trying to move out of class and taking children out of class to engage and to also come up with solutions that they can practically use on their day-to-day life. So as an institution, we are proponent and strongly believe in this model of education, and we are supporting government by integrating what we have in terms of skilling and also engaging these young learners out of class so that they can come up with solutions that they can use on their day-to-day life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with Alfred. In the United States, we're focusing more and more on transition services. We want our learners to leave school and go into meaningful activity. So we start the transition process earlier on in school. And the students see relevancy on that. They become excited about their future after high school. And I don't want to leave the parents out also. The parents, in many cases, are concerned about what's going to happen when my son or daughter leaves school. What are they going to do? So everybody's excited about transition planning earlier in the process.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to use Nigeria's perspective. Coming from Nigeria, the government do not have, is still focused on, they are not really focused on education as it is currently in Nigeria as against what it used to be. And right now, it's more relative with respect to whether they are focused on solution-based or otherwise, depends on the school, especially expensive private schools, depending on where your child goes, then that could tell whether they are focused on solutions or not. And then other things are parents, just like you said, parents try their best for their children are going to schools that they can afford, and then they create other curriculums within the home that where the children can learn how to live a wholesome life that includes preferring solutions to problems. Otherwise, generally, most students in themselves just want to pass exams. They just want to pass exams and then get the certificate. And then by the time they leave school, then reality.com, they come to reality to realize that everything that they've just learned, they are not able to translate to life itself. Yeah, so that's the challenge.
Thank you.
Yeah. So at my school at Staten Island Academy, since it's a university preparatory school, we always have this conflict, right? So the students, as Melvin was just saying, the students are very much so like, I need to earn an A for this class. But we really try to work on what we refer to as project-based learning, which is what you were describing. Like, what are the problems that you can solve and work in small groups or work individually to try to solve? And then how does, the maths fit into that? How does the history and social studies fit into that? How does the literacy fit into that? And one of the biggest challenges as a school, as we wrestle with this, is helping teachers be trained in project-based learning in a way that they feel comfortable with. Most of the teachers that I work with in the States, and specifically at my school still, are traditionally trained, right? So they're like, no, this 5-page report is the most important thing. It's like, well, it's important, but is it important because of the content, or is it important because of the writing skills, the problem-solving skills, and those types of things? And to bring this kind of full circle, what we know from higher education and the employment sector when kids finish university are saying, we want those leadership skills, we want those communication skills, we want those. We want the students to have the ability, or the young adults to have the ability to work in small groups and solve a problem. Whether they earned an A in, calculus is maybe secondary. So it's really getting that information from the employers to higher education, and then to like a university preparatory school like mine to start to come in line. And so really, I don't think my school's unusual. I think we're in the States really wrestling with this traditional education versus project-based learning.
Okay, just say that they're in a state whereby they're struggling to balance between the two, traditional and project-based, which is more of solution-based.
Solution-based, yes.
Thank you. And how is Glory?
A lot has been said. I really do not have much to say, but what I'll say, this is also taking me back to the definition of quality education. Over time, most of the schools have defined quality education in the terms of qualifications and performance. As when the school performs well, as when they get grade A's, most of the grade A's or most of the grade B's, then the community and the country would define that school providing a quality education. While it's not anymore. And schools and education institutions have turned into businesses. In the terms that at some point in my country, the government was giving out a rank of the best schools, maybe in ordinary education, secondary education, or advanced level of education. Like the rank of the school, the rank and the school rank was being measured by how many students have passed, maybe by grade A. How many students have division 1, and division 1 of what kind of points, But then they discarded that system. And I was like, yeah, because this is telling us that the quality education we're defining in is when students get A, but then have we monitored these students after they have acquired grade A or division 1? What kind of contribution are they bringing in our community? I think that's how we should measure quality education, and that's how we should measure the relevance again. So I'm more of a fan of the solution based than qualification and performance.